Hey guys, let's talk about this week's episode of The Tomorrow People. And I actually like this episode much better than last week's episode. I really enjoyed a lot of the fight scenes that happened in this one. There was like a big fight scene between the Tomorrow People and the other Tomorrow People, but the bad group of Tomorrow People. And that was being headed up by this guy named Julian. And it was a flashback heavy episode, and it was about Kara and how she first ended up meeting with Julian and his girlfriend and what led them to ultimately part ways. And Julian was pretty much a guy who obviously didn't want to be turned into Ultra, and he was also somebody who wanted to like rob from the rich kind of thing, and make these people pay for having all this money and stuff like that. He was just like a guy who was an ass, and he had like a group of and it was just him and his girlfriend at the time. But since then he's pretty much gathered up this little army of thugs, and they've returned back to town. And so when everyone finds out, Ultra wants to have him brought into their lair, and of course the Tomorrow People want to just basically get him out of town, and they don't want anything to do with him because obviously Kara knows exactly what he's capable of, and she wants no part of it. And Kara at this point is now the new leader of all the Tomorrow People, and she's not really getting the respect that she thinks she deserves, especially by Russell. Russell is pretty much he keeps calling her boss or chief or whatever, giving her little digs, because a lot of the time when she's giving these orders, he's not really agreeing with what she wants. She wants them to do, but what is he going to do? They elected her boss, so that's who he has to take orders from. And she keeps going to John and asking him, like, how am I supposed to get these people to respect me and da da da? And he's just like, listen, you have to be able to lead, and you have to be able to make these decisions, and eventually they will respect you. And again, this is why I really like John, because when he decided to spend all of his time with the girl that they saved in last week's episode, I think her name was Charlotte. I really enjoyed that like bonding moment that he had with her. And this is again why he deserves to be the leader, because he knows how to tap into like the emotions of somebody who is pretty much terrified of their own thoughts and what they are capable of doing. And so when he's able to reach in and talk about, the dark side and how to channel that anger and what to do with it, it's a really great scene. And Kara even he overhears it, and it's like, I hope that this is teaching her a thing or two as to how to lead this group of people, and not just, have her furrowed brow and be like, rah, 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 and like dictate orders. Because there's a part of Kara that she really has like no soft edges. And that's fine. If she's going to be like this tough as nails girl, I'm all for it, because I like strong, powerful women. But there also has to be like a likability to that character as well. And sometimes I find that I don't really like Kara. She's just like barking out orders. And she just never has like a really friendly disposition about her. So I don't know. I'm like, meh, whatever, whenever she's in a scene. But hopefully that will change, and we'll start to get a little bit of a better, softer side now that the team trusts her and realizes, like in that big fight scene that I was telling you about, they really made a great decision as to their plan of attack. And that was to sort of go in, attack, fight, fight, fight. Then they were all going to disappear and make it seem like they left her for dead. And then all of a sudden they bring in Charlotte, and Charlotte just does this like wail of a scream that she's been having issues with all episode. And it basically renders all of these other Tomorrow People like weak, because like their brain is doing this weird thing. And then the Ultra People come in and ultimately scoop them up and take them to their headquarters. So, ultimately Steven looks like a good guy. The girl that he's working with looks like, they've gathered up all these Tomorrow People, and now they've all done a good job, So it's like a win-win for everybody. Of course, we've got Jedekiah being Jedekiah, still not really trusting Steven. I mean, how long are we going to run this? Like, we know, like, he knows that Steven is off doing stuff with the Tomorrow People. So I don't know why there's always this, like, scene where we have to, like, have these conversations like, can I really trust you, Steven? Are you really on my side? And I'm just kind of like, Jedekiah, you know what's up, okay? So I'm kind of tired of that story thread that's always kind of in the underlying background of every conversation that he has with Steven. But, if that's what the show is going to keep doing, then I guess we're just going to have to keep watching it over and over again. I'm pretty much over it. And then we had some good stuff with Russell. Russell got his ass whooped in this episode, but I think his point was, let me step up, let me try to be, let me try to do what I can do and help the Tomorrow People. And he was doing a good job until, it kind of backfired on him. But again, Russell is somebody who will take it for the team and he will do what he can to try to protect everybody that is in underground with the Tomorrow People. We didn't really get any about Steven's father in this episode, but we do know now that the girl who has been, who came out of nowhere and has been training at Ultra with Steven is basically spying on him, because there was a scene at the end with Steven and Astrid when they were walking to school and ready to take a test, and they were joking around on the street, which was kind of cute. And he was like, well, basically I don't need to study because I can just read your mind and you already know what's going on, so I can just copy from you. And she's like, you can't just copy my brain, like you can't just cheat off of me. And he's like, whatever. She's like, makes fun of him, and he's like, oh, I thought you loved me. And like, they're just joking around. But I thought it was really cute banter between the two of them. Like I said, I still think that they should stop going the route of Kara and this three-way triangle between her, John, and Steven, and let him either focus on Astrid, where it seems like, a relationship that can be grounded in some normalcy because they are human, and she does know about his Tomorrow People world. So I think it would still work if they went in that direction. So anyways, they teleport out of there, and all of a sudden this girl who was training with Steven comes around the corner. So obviously she's spying on them. So, and I kind of knew that was coming. I didn't trust her anyway. So I knew that she's probably under Jedediah's watchful eye, and she's reporting everything back to him. So, I mean, especially since they killed off the other agent, like, a bunch of episodes ago, and we never talk about her again. But they had to bring in somebody else to pretty much spy on Steven. And so then, of course, the last scene was Julian once again doing the same type of thing that he did to Kara all those years ago. And he sees a girl trying to steal a croissant from like a street vendor. And he sees her and he's like, oh, I'm just like you. Come with me. And so it's basically he's starting from scratch all over again. He's going to build up his army of minions to once again fight the good fight, and should be interesting to see what happens when they reintroduce him many episodes from now, I'm sure. So that's pretty much all that happened on this week's episode. We didn't see the mom's boyfriend, but they did reference him, so obviously we know that Steven is not his biggest fan, and he was able to block out, and I like that he told Astrid the truth here, and that he's not really sure what's up with her boyfriend, because he was able to block out Steven from reading his mind. So, and if he is able to do that, that means he's very powerful. So, should be interesting to find out what's up with that guy. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened in this episode. Once again, John is still my favorite. He really is. And I want some happiness for John. He needs to just kick Kara to the curb and move on. So let's get a little lady love in his life. But that's it for me. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Leave a message, comment down below, and I will see you all next week. Okay, bye guys.